Greetings, heroes in a half shell, and happy International Children's Day, and welcome to my review for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, directed by David Green, written by Josh Applebaum and Andre Nemec. It stars Megan Fox, Will Arnett, Stephen Amell, Laura Linney, Noel Fisher, Jeremy Howard, Peter Plozek, Alan Richson, Tyler Perry, Brian T, Seamus, Gary Anthony Williams, and Brad Garrett. And this movie is a continuation of the 2014 movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And now we see Shredder joining forces with two goons who are also in prison, Bebop and Rocksteady, and now he has a new plan to conquer New York and the world by consequence, along with Dr. Baxter Stockman and Bebop and Rocksteady. So now it's up to the Turtles, along with April O'Neil and their new ally Casey Jones, to stop these villains. First of all, I gotta say that I enjoy the 2014 movie. It's not the best movie ever, don't get me wrong. That movie has so many flaws and is so disappointing in some ways. However, I gotta say I still had fun with it, and the way the Turtles are portrayed in that movie was great. The problem with that movie was really that it focused too much on April O'Neil and it left the Turtles on the background. This movie, the way it sells to you on the trailers, my friends, this movie is the Turtles movie. The Turtles are so great in this movie. From the moment this movie starts, you get that Turtles feeling you had watching the animated series in the 80s, in the 2003 series, and in the 2012 Nickelodeon series, which, by the way, if you aren't watching, that is the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show ever. We get so many character moments from our team of Turtles. We get Raphael and Leonardo, we get Donatello and Raphael, we get Mikey and Donatello, Mikey and Leonardo. All of these Turtles bond together and you see why they are brothers, why they are a team. But they also have a conflict that comes in the middle of the movie, and we'll talk about a little bit of that later. But you see and feel the bond of these guys from the way they interact, the way they move around, which I really don't like, that they really made the Turtles big. But I enjoy seeing that by making that change, they use it to their advantage. And the Turtles, by being big, use that size for something. And I'm glad to see that they made the most of it. Also, I really like the individual look the Turtles have. Raphael is really the bulky guy of the group. You can clearly see the tallest guy, the most muscular turtle is Raphael. And Donatello makes sense that he's the skinniest one. You look at these four turtles standing, and Donatello is clearly the skinniest of them all. While Michelangelo is, as always, the little brother, so he's definitely the smallest one. And Leonardo, you can see that he's the most athletic. And they have individual pieces of clothing in themselves. Even the tapes around their eyes are still different, and I really like those details. I like seeing Megan Fox in this movie. I think she was good. She didn't have much to do besides what she needed to do, but she was integral to the script, and her relationship with the Turtles also grows. She's not going to win any Oscars, guys, don't get me wrong, but I liked seeing her, and I liked seeing her better than in the original movie. Stephen Amell as Casey Jones. Now, as you guys know probably, I'm a big fan of Arrow, and as much as season 4 was very disappointing, I'm glad to tell you guys that Stephen Amell, even throughout that season, was still a great actor. I really enjoy this actor ever since the show started. He has really grown in this show as an actor, and he's really good in this as well. I would have liked to see a little bit more of him. I would have liked to see his relationship with the Turtles, especially Raphael, growing a little bit. But I also really like what he had to do with April O'Neil. Also, I forgot to tell you something. There's a certain change they make to Casey Jones's origins. I gotta say, it gave great motivation for this character. It made him feel full, like a real person, like someone who had some interest, real interest, in helping out the city and the Turtles by consequence. And there's not really much to him because he doesn't care about anything in the original show. However, here, the way they changed it, I really like it and I really respect them. And this was one way to make a character, and I really like seeing that the writers and the director of this movie understood that. Seamus and Gary Anthony Williams, I like them. These two guys do have a bond, and Seamus, for a superstar who's not entering any WWE made films, this is one of the best actors they have right now. Seamus was great. He didn't have much to do as far as a tour de force performance is concerned, but he was fun, he felt natural. And when they turned into Bebop and Rocksteady, I like seeing the relationship of these two goons. They are dumb, dumb, they are goofy, they are corny, and actually the best comedy of this movie came from the relationship between these two. When they tried to be funny, that's kind of where it fails. Still, these characters were very well captured onto the screen, and they are big. And as disgusting as it is to see Bebop's lard flopping around in his belly, I really enjoyed seeing him as a non-athletic warthog. In the animated show, he kind of is, and that doesn't make much sense. Shredder in this movie. Can't go into spoilers, but kinda disappointing. I'm very disappointed in the role that Shredder played in this. Brad Garrett voices Krang. Krang is in this movie. You guys know that. You watch the trailers. If you haven't, watch the trailers. Brad Garrett really gave a personality to the Krang. I really enjoyed seeing him, and I like seeing this character. He has a few differences from the animated show, but still, this character stands on its own. He was a good villain from when he was on screen. I can't go into details about that because that would be spoiler, and the spoilers review is coming on another day. I gotta say, I really enjoyed Tyler Perry. He had a certain charm to him. He was not this generic mad scientist wanting to conquer the world. He had a passion for science and to discover new things. And that's what made him eccentric enough to try and pull off this mad genius-like plan. But the guy never felt like a villain, and that's what I like, this ambiguous look that they allow you to give towards the character of Baxter Stockman. What does fail in this movie? Well, the characters of the Turtles are excellently captured to the screen, and they are great as characters and as the main forces behind this movie. However, the other characters, especially the new ones who needed some inclusion and felt like full-on fledged characters, they needed more time on screen, and I understand they didn't have time, but this movie is not even 2 hours. They could have made 10 more minutes of the movie, give a few quick scenes here and there to Bebop and Rocksteady and Casey Jones and April, and they might have flourished out these characters a little bit more. Also Splinter. Splinter seems like a footnote in this movie. He has his scenes with Leonardo and a scene with Raphael, but that's it. Splinter maybe shows off on the background of the Turtle Cave, and there's not much more to it. Also, as I said before, when Bebop and Rocksteady try to be funny, they are not, and it actually quite makes you cringe during this movie. And there is a subplot line that comes in the middle of the movie that I wish they would have introduced it right away. Because there's a MacGuffin in this movie, which I'm not going to tell you, that allows the Turtles to discover something new about its effects. And suddenly they introduce it, and the Turtles have to deal with this new drama and gives them, as a group, as brothers, as a family, more conflict and helps develop their characters individually. However, that plotline, as good as it is for our Turtles and to make us understand the way they look at the world by the way the world looks at them, it kind of felt forced, shoehorned into this movie. I gotta say, the way they used it and the way they handled it throughout the rest of the movie from the moment it was introduced, I really enjoyed it. But at first, it really seemed crammed in there, and there was no big consequence coming from that. Also, there is one little scene between Raphael and Leonardo that the way they handled it really did make it seem like these characters were two spoiled brats. Guys, far superior than the original movie. Stay for the credits, you will love it. The relationship between the Turtles is great. The new characters introduced are good and they are faithful to their origins. Also, the storyline takes a few bumps on the road, but it clearly gets the job done. And I gotta say that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows is a martini. A good time, anytime. What did you guys think of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows? What did you guys think of the original 2014 movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Let me know all of that in the comments below. In a few days on Friday, I'll release my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows spoilers review so we can discuss freely the movie in the comments section. Also on Saturday, I'll be reviewing The Angry Birds. And on Sunday, I will release my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Q&A. You guys are still on time to send in your questions. Just hashtag TMNT Q&A and leave your questions to me about anything you want. As you guys go to the comment section below, you can stop by the description and click on the link to the Modern Gaffa, your #1 source for everything Saturday morning, including Ninja Turtles. And of course, there are also links there for my Facebook and my Instagram so you can stalk me on the internet. And of course, I'll leave a link to my previous video right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review and I hope you enjoyed the movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Right here is a link to my previous video, which is my Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 6, Blood on My Blood TV review. There are spoilers there, but you can also leave your questions and theories about the episode and what's coming, and also your questions for the TMNT Q&A, also right there. Just remember to hashtag it, guys, and I can't wait for the spoilers review so we can discuss this movie, not having to worry about spoilers. And of course, I will see you guys in the next review. Cheers.